Hello, I'm Tunu from VectoriaDesigns, and if you like vintage writing thingies in your designs, we have another kit for you, the I'm a Writer Crafting Printables Kit. Patricia from Le Café Craft on YouTube has made not one but 3 fabulous tutorials with these printables. A paper keeper, a journal, and a journal on the go. Now, to find out what a journal on the go is, please watch the flip through video, the link is below. In this video, Patricia will show you how to craft the paper keeper. In part 2 and part 3, she will show you how to create the other 2 craft projects. The links are below as well. As I said, Patricia has her own YouTube channel, Le Café Craft, and I really recommend to go take a look for some more of these tutorials. She explains things very well, and if I have to be honest, she makes the most hilarious comments during crafting. That alone makes it worth the watch. If you want to make this project and the other 2 craft projects with the printables of our I'm a Writer kit, you can discover it in our Etsy shop, the link is below. There you can see the price, how it's delivered, etc. And now it's time to start crafting with Patricia. Enjoy!
Bienvenue to Le Café Craft. This is Patricia and we are doing tutorials for VectoriaDesigns. And I am so excited for several reasons. First, I have the most gorgeous kit, which is called I'm a Writer. It's a brand new kit. That's one thing. 2, this is the very first time ever that I'm working with the digital kit. So I'm just borderline in heaven. I've never got so many good, incredible things to work with. Before we get into the tutorials, I wanted to get into the paper, and more of, I wanted to get into the printing of the paper, the printing of the kit. You don't have to go as crazy as I went because I printed about everything there was because I was like, why stop when you can do it all? Right? So I want to go through the different paper I used, the different way I went about it, and what you can do with it or not do with it, you know, depending what happened. But pretty much, first, the papers that I printed on. So this way you have a better idea when I talk about this, that what I'm referring to. I use cardstock, white cardstock, because I figure for the embellishment, if there is tags or with the background, if I want to work with them, I'm going to need some print on cardstock. So I got regular white cardstock. That's one thing. For the papers, I used this paper that I found, which is called Bold Digital. It is a paper specifically for digital printing. It is very resistant paper. I mean, it's not thick, but it's resistant. It's extremely smooth. I mean, you just glide over. It is really a really nice paper. I have used also 100% cotton paper. I don't have any more of it because I used it all. I had some remnant. That is a very fuzzy paper. I think I have some here. See, that's the back of it. It's fuzzy. It is smooth, but you know, you have that fuzzy feel to it. I also used parchment paper. This one. I mean, I think they're all the same, really. I use the ivory color, and you will see give different tone to your print, which is also very interesting. And finally, just for the fun of it, I also used vellum paper because I figure why not, right? I mean, so I can print anything I want, whichever way I want. And what I did is I taped it on cardstock, let it loose, and put it in the printer. Now, the printers, I don't know which printer you have. I know which printer I have. I have an Epson Workforce 7820. Do I like it? I will not go that far, but it does print. Okay, and that's an inkjet printer. I also have a 10-year-old vintage Brother printer, which I don't even, at this point, you cannot even see what printer it is. But the quality of printing is not bad at all. So I use either this one or that one, depending on what I'm doing. So going back to the kit, right? There is 20 pages of background. I printed every single one of them. I printed about everything there was to print, and you see why when we get to the tutorial, and I'm sure you look at the flip through and you know why. But anyhow, So I'm just gonna give some example of different printing effect. This is on regular copy paper. You can also print on regular copy paper. I mean, there's nothing to say you can't. Okay, this is on the fuzzy paper, the cotton paper, and this is on regular copy paper as well. I want to show you the differences because you can get creative also with your printer. That's what I want to point out. This is on regular paper, this is on digital paper, and there is a difference. There's a difference in tone, this is like regular quality. So you see it's not as good, but you can use it for other things. This one is on the parchment paper, the ivory parchment paper, and this one is on the digital white paper. See, that's what I wanted to kind of show because it's fun to play with it. It's your kit. You can print it whichever way you want. Because the ivory linen, you see there's a big difference in tone. So depending on which one you like better, what you want to use it for, I said try different things when you print. I think that's what is so much fun, is you have different results. Also with your setting, right? You can have really high density and get really dark print. You can have very, very low density and have very, very extremely light print. If you want to use some of them as very light background, you have to experience with your printer. Anyhow, so those are the background papers, and they are, one is prettier than the other. As we doing our tutorial, we even get a better look at it, but it is really, really nice. It's extremely crisp. All the details come out. It's really, really nice. Nice. There is the journal pages. So the journal pages, there is 24 pages, and it's a double page, right? So I'm gonna address the borderless setting. I printed most of the background borderless, as you can see. I printed the journal pages with the border because I wanted to use that little white border around. We see when we get to the journal. I printed them front and back. Now, when you print front and back, just saying, right? Don't get distracted into doing something else. My best tip will be just do one page at a time, okay? And keep track of what you're doing, which means like don't have a cup of coffee or taking a break in the middle of it because this is not gonna work. The rule of thumb is the way your paper comes out of your printer is the way you put it back in the printer. And that will print the back of it the same way, which means up is going to be up on both sides, which is like sometimes a problem, right? So the same way it comes out, you put it back in your drawer or back in your manual feeder, and it will come, your next print is going to come in the back perfectly. So that's the journal pages. Like one is prettier than the other. I mean, this is just like, look how crisp it is. I mean, those are really, really good quality digital. There is also 24 pages of smaller format than this one, which with a bigger margin, which is actually can pretty be useful if you want to do a smaller size journal. It's the exact same print, but they have a bigger margin around. Just saying, it's also an option. I didn't print any of them, but that's an option. There is 12 pages of the small format, which is, and we're gonna do a tutorial with those, which is you do have 2 pages, 2 double pages per page, right? And what I did on those, I printed the back of it with a background, which was actually this one. See this background? I printed this background on the back of those pages. And there was a reason why I did that. You can print them front and back as well, just the same way. The way it comes out is the way you put them back in. It works. all the time, every time. So this is the thing with that. And there is the embellishment. There is 15 pages of embellishment, which is like treasure trove. I mean, we need those things so badly, right? So I printed some on cardstock because I figure for tags, for, things that, or background, if you need like a sturdy background for something, this is why I use the cardstock. See all those tags? I can cut them and I can print a background in the back, and my tags will be front and back with something on it. How about that? Right? Right. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. Those are some that I printed with the low density, so it's like more like a subtle print. Depending how you want to use them, you never know. Maybe you're gonna need some of those, right? And this is what I'm saying, and the tones get so different. This is on the linen paper, so it's got that more yellowish toned down color. Anyway, I wanted to try everything. There is also those little corner pocket or other embellishment, like for example, I want to show you something because they are so cool. I just fell in love with those things. Where is things when you need them, right? There's those pens. I mean, those pens are so nice and crisp. Okay, the good thing is, I mean, really well done, VectoriaDesigns, is there is that little fuzzy background around it, so you don't have to cut next to the pen, you cut around the pen. That really does help a lot. A lot of the cards do have that, which is really nice, when you do your cutout. It takes the guessing game out of it. Pockets have those little flap on the side, same thing, just get to fold them. I mean, that's pretty. Look how crisp. I mean, this is so detailed. Anyway, I was pretty amazed with that, the whole kit. Oh, also it says subscribe to our mailing list, VectoriaDesigns.com. Yes, I totally suggest you sign up because my understanding is you get freebies, you get free download, you know what's going on. I mean, sometimes they feature video from Le Café Craft, which is a really good thing, as we know. So anyway, that. And this is all the papers that are printed here, this way, that way, the other way. And we're going to be able to get on with the tutorials. Okay, so the first tutorial is the paper keeper. This is what I call it. I think it's a really catchy name. I think it's so apropos. Anyhow, in order to do that, we are going to need cardstock. I'm using craft cardstock. I'm using 12 by 12 because we're going to need about 6 sheets of 12 by 12 and eventually more. So this is what I'm using. And I'm also, because I don't want to chop all my 12 by 12, I'm also using the 8.5 by 11. It's the same cardstock, as you can see, right? So this way, anything less than 12 inches, I can cut in there and not destroy that. Just trying to save a piece of paper one at a time. Anyhow, dimension in centimeters for those papers are written right there. So, we're gonna need this. We're gonna need scissors, cutting machine, scoring board. We're gonna need glue. I mean, that's a given, right? I'm gonna use this glue because so far that's the only one which works for me. It's a long story, but that's what's going on here. I'm also gonna use packaging paper, which comes, when you receive like a box of something and they get that paper in, I'm gonna use some of that. We're gonna also need some of this to shade. We also gonna need some medium weight chipboard, and actually not medium weight, I think it's even like a lightweight chipboard, which is this one. It's a big sheet that I got and cut in pieces. You can use a book cover if your book cover is gonna be about 12 by 12. You can use, if you do not have chipboard, it is not an excuse not to make this project, because I found out you can take some of those 12 by 12 pieces of cardstock, glue them together, right? And you will have about a soft weight chipboard with the glue and everything. Oh yes, that will totally do it. So this is what we're gonna need, I think. Yes, that's all we're gonna need that I can think of. All right, so the first thing we do, oh, you're gonna need a big table. Ha! This is in the supply list, big table. Okay, because we're working 12 by 12 and we get to move them around and all that, right? So if your 12 by 12 come in a pack, which is like sheets, right? You're good at 12 by 12. If they come in a pad like those, right? You're gonna have to be careful, because when you tear them out, right, there is this here, which is that little 1/4 inch right there. See it? So don't forget to cut that off, because if you don't cut that off, it's gonna throw you completely out for your measurement. So if they come from a pad, don't forget to cut this. I mean, it happened to me so many times. All right, so first thing we do, I'm gonna go all over the measurement. We cut this thing, cutting. We're cutting this. We're getting right in it. Cut. Done. Okay, so now you got a real 12 by 12. I mean, if they come in sheet, you already had a real 12 by 12. And then we're gonna have to score. Now, I'm gonna score with you, but I'm gonna show it to you on a white piece of cardstock, because if I write on that, you're not gonna see anything at all. Okay, so we're gonna take that 12 by 12. We're gonna score at 1 inch, which is 2.5 centimeters. We're gonna score at 1.5 inch, which is 4 centimeters, which means you will have a 1/2 inch right here in between, right? Then you're gonna score all the way to 10 3/4, which is 27.5 centimeters, which is gonna give you between this score line and this score line exactly 9 1/4, other known as 23.5 centimeters. And whatever you got left here is gonna be about, I say that because I found out they're not really exactly 12 inches. It will be about 1 1/4 inch, which is 3 centimeters. This is what we're doing right now. We need to do at least 6 of those. So I'm gonna do 1 or 2, and then I'm gonna get on with something else. But you're gonna need at least 6 of that, right? So we do 1 inch, 1 inch, score. Then we're gonna do 1.5, score. Okay, every time you score, make sure your cardstock stay really good, because, then you kind of score sideways. All right, 1.5. Then you're gonna go all the way to 10 3/4 right here. And then you're done with that. You do 6 of those. Okay, so once they score, you fold them. I mean, we're gonna fold them so many more times, so just, give them a fold, right? And you do that 6 times, and that gives you those right there. I'm telling you, you need a big table. Okay, you need 6 of those, which I got even more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we can all do that. Yes. All right, so that's one thing. Now, in order not to ruin my 12 by 12, we're gonna use the 8.5 by 11, which is, less than 12 inches, right? Because we need 9 inches. So we're gonna cut 9 inches high, which is, hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now, because I have it here, which is gonna be 23 centimeters, right? 9 inches high. So, right here, 9 inches high. I mean, you can use your cutting machine or your utility knife. 9 inches. Okay. Now, I can give you what the strips are gonna be. They're gonna be 9 inches high, right? And they're gonna be 1 3/4 wide. You're gonna have to score them at a 1/2 inch, which is 1 centimeter. 1 3/4 wide is 4.5 centimeters. This is what you're gonna want to do. Now, if you cut your strips and then score at a 1/2 inch, it is not that easy. I found that out. So what I did is, because I know the width is 1 3/4, is I measured and I marked 1 3/4 everywhere, which I repeat is 4.5 centimeters, right? So I measured 1 3/4. Okay, I do it the old-fashioned way because then it get me so confused if I have to keep adding all kind of things and right? 1 3/4, and you know, put yourself a mark. 1 3/4 and 1 3/4. And you cannot do another one because you don't have 1 3/4 left. You got 1.5 left, okay? And this is 9 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 23 centimeters. Okay, this is where you're gonna cut, right? But now you want to score at a 1/2 inch, yes? So you take your sheet, you take your board, and you're gonna find out it is so much easier. And then you're gonna score, take a mark anywhere, right? Like I start at 2. You're gonna score a 1/2 inch. Yes? You go to your next mark right here, that way you're gonna cut, but you didn't cut it yet. You put it, line it up with a number, any number, then you score a 1/2 inch. It's a lot easier to do it like this, right, than to try to score a strip of papers. Just saying. You take your other mark, put it on a number, any number, you take a 1/2 inch, you score. Right? Then you take your next mark, put it on a number, any number, take a 1/2 inch, you score. And then finally, you have the last one here. Then you take your cutting machine. I mean, I don't know if it's crafter approved, but it just worked great for some reason, right? Now you cut where you put your mark. Yes, yes. Make sure your paper is straight. Because see, now you have your strip with your score line. You can fold it and you're all good to go. Because if you try to score a little strip like that, it is definitely not easy, right? And you're gonna need, let's say, I don't know, like about 6 of them. Yeah, we can do 6 because we get 3 per sheet, right? So let's do 6. If we need more, we take more, but I think that should be plenty. And the last one. I mean, it's easier to cut, it's easier to score. And this you put away somewhere really far away from you so it doesn't get mixed up with, you know, the stuff that you need, right? And you're gonna need, so okay, we say 6 of those. Okay, you fold them. Okay, you need 6 of those. I think I do have 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on, I got a little pile here. Are they all 9 inches? Yes. 5 and 6. So you have 6 of those, right? With those dimensions right here. And then you have 6 of those with those dimensions right there. Now, if you want to take a screenshot and make sure you get everything right, go right ahead. Okay? Okay, so we got that. Okay, what is next is gonna be taking those strips that you have, those that you made right there. Okay, and you're gonna go down. Okay, here's the fold right here. Put it on your left, right? You're gonna go down 1 inch, 1 inch down. And then you're gonna find something round that you can use. Like, I have a little ribbon thing here. Okay, anything round that you have. I mean, really anything round that you have. And then you're gonna go from that mark right here to here on your fold. Yes? And then once you line up your circle on it, you're just gonna trace it. Yes? So now you have this round, half circle thing right there. Okay? You are gonna cut this from the mark and you round it. You can do it without making a circle because you are that good, but I'm not. Okay, so this is what we have, right? Yes? Let me take some white so you can see better. Like so. This is gonna be round like that. All right, you're gonna keep this because now what you're gonna do is you're gonna do the same thing to all of them, right? So it's gonna be pretty easy because you're just gonna trace it like this and like that, and you're gonna do that on every single one of them. Yes? Yes. And then we do the other side, right? Right, okay. Okay, so now you got the 6 of them done, right? Now, you take your pages that you made. Should have at least 6 of them, right? You are gonna see how the whole thing unfolds. The reason I say 6 of them, or maybe because maybe you really like it and you want to have more than 6 pages. I don't know, right? But I made 6, so that's a start. Anyhow, so you take your page, one of them, okay? You have the fold here with the score line, right? And you have the other side, which is like the flippy, flappy one, right? You take this thing that you cut, you line it up. Eventually you put the fold the other way around. It doesn't matter because we're gonna keep, folding them this way and that way. You line up with your page, right? Nice, it goes all the way down, yes? And then what you're gonna do is trace the same round right here, okay? So, once you get that, okay, see that round thing, you just get to do it once, and then after that, you just keep tracing. Pretty much, this is how that works. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut from the top to here, on that fold here, and then around here. Now, let me do 1, and then you have to do 6 of those, right? So you cut on that fold all the way to that mark that you have, and then you round on that line that you traced, like so. See, so you do have the same, because this is gonna go here. We get to that later. But see, you have the same round pattern, okay? Because that's what I'm saying. Once you make one, no matter how it comes out, once it comes out good, that's the one you keep, and then you keep rounding everything you have. Yes? So this way, they're all identical, okay? So you do that with every single page that you have. Okay, you line it up in the bottom pretty good, and you trace it. Line up on the outside and trace. I'm sorry, it's brown on brown, so it's hard to see, but anyway, here. And then again, you cut on your fold to the mark. And then you round it up on your little tracing. You're not supposed to do that, I think. But anyway, we did it. Okay, so now you have, I work behind the scenes. So now you have 6 of them, and they're like this, right? And they have that side all round. Okay, let's just put all of them together so we know what we're doing. Okay, so at this stage, right, you have your strips are made, your pages are cut, right? We're rounding everything there is. Seriously, I'm rounding this. You don't have to, but I think it's better to round it. So you round every single strips at the top, at the bottom, on both sides. I round them large. Okay, this is that thing there, that puncher. It's, I don't know, it's small, medium, and large is large. Okay, you do all the strips, and then you take your sheets and you round here. On the top here, you round here, I already did. You round here, I already did. And you round here. Okay, so you do round the 4 corners of your 6 sheets. Yes, yes. So we're rounding up. So when you're done rounding everything there is, right? Up, down, and sideways. I'm trying to put some order into this chaos here. Okay, so everything is rounded. Then you take your 8.5 by 11, you know, your small cardstock. You take a sheet out of that. And then what you need now are 6 of this. This is, I put it on white paper so you can see it good. It's 3.25 wide and 3.5 height, which is 8.5 centimeters by 9 centimeters. Okay, so you do that. You need 6 of those that you round the corners and that you fold in the middle. Now, the next step, when it's all round up and everything, is to take this and go at it. So, I mean, if you don't edge anything, then you can go and have a cup of coffee. If you do edge, you put some Zen music, because there's a kind of a lot of edging going on. Okay, so this is going to be glued that way. So, you don't have to edge this, right? You're going to edge this and here. Yes, on the 6 of those. Those have to be edged all the way around. Those have to be edged. Again, if you're edging, all right, you don't care because this is going to be inside. So you get to edge this, this, all around here, right? You don't have to edge this. This does not have to be edged. This, okay, I'm going to talk about this. This is, every single one of your sheet has that score line, which is a 1/2 inch right here. This, you have several choices. Either, okay, you can edge it, right? Like really well, that whole thing. Or you can use washi Or I use double face tape, and I crumple my packaging paper, shaded it with my stamp to give you that. I didn't put anything else on the top because I'm gonna glue maybe stuff on it, so I don't want to have it, you know, glossy or anything with Mod Podge, right? And what I did is I used the double face tape and I did strips. This way I will have washi, okay? Because that's what I'm gonna use. But you can use anything. Actually, if you want to use, I'm gonna show you why, okay? If you want to use some seam ribbon, you can also do that and put it here. Now, because this is gonna be the spine of the paper keeper, now I have a prototype here, but I'm pretty sure you saw it in the flip through. But anyhow, see, this is where you're gonna see this right here. And see, I covered it with the packaging paper, right? And it's easier to do it now because otherwise when you're gonna glue everything, it's pretty much get not really accessible. Now, if you don't want to put anything, you just want to edge it, you can, but edge it like there's a real contrast with this part here, because this is gonna really help us when we're gonna assemble everything together, right? So other than edging everything that we talk about, this here, what I'm gonna do, and as usual, you guys can do whatever you want to do, but I'm gonna put that strip right there. Okay, so pretty much I put it right there. Come on, nope, 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 nope. There we go. Good. Cut. Like so, okay? So you edge everything except the inside of here doesn't need to be edged, right? The inside here doesn't either. All of that, if you're not gonna put a strip of something on this half inch, edge it really good so you have a color difference between this and that. On this side, you got to also edge all around because there's always two sides, just like a story. That's what we're doing, and then we get together again and then we assemble. All right, so we edged everything. We have 6 of those little things here. I don't know if we use them all, but they're there, so this way we don't have to go through that again. We get 6 of those. They're all edged, right? Done and done. We got the 6 sheets, pages, whatever you want to call them. They are the keepers of the paper keeper. All right? So edge here, here, and there. I put washi on every single one of them right there on that half inch. Whatever you use, whatever you did, right? We are gonna need to assemble. In order to assemble, we need glue. I'm gonna use this glue. You need a glue which glues, right? Not some glue that it's just gonna fall apart, because this is gonna have to be sturdy. So really good glue. Also, you're gonna need, I'm sorry, I didn't specify that, but you're gonna need clippies, right? Because we're gluing things together, so we're gonna have to keep them together. Okay. First thing first is we always gonna make sure that we have all our pages the right way. Yes? So, pages get to be with that little flap on your right hand side. Every single one of them, right? I mean, don't start gluing things this way. This is not gonna be good. Okay, so you take the first 2. Now, the best advice I can give you is not to overthink it, because the more you're gonna overthink it, the less you're gonna be able to do that thing. It just does mind games to me. So, you are gonna fold this side right here. That's why I wanted to put a washi or shade it like a different color so we know what we're talking about, right? This side here, nice and flat. You're gonna take your second page to get it ready. And you're gonna have it folded just the same, right? This is gonna be the back of it. Yes? Yes. Take that first page. If you don't want this flip to bother you, here, put something here. You are gonna put glue right here. I'm gonna use some parchment paper, wax paper, whatever you have, right? Because you don't wanna mess that up here. Just in case, you know, you just never know, right? You have it nice and flat. You take your glue, take the glue, shake the glue, glue. You put it, okay, don't be afraid to put glue, right? You put the glue on the whole flap, but not where you have the washi, yes? See, there's a reason for everything. Okay, so you put your glue everywhere, and you do have your 1/2 inch here with your washi. Yes? You take your page the same way, right? With the little flappy thing here. Take it this way. You are gonna put it right on top, border to border with that page. Like so. Border to border. Okay? Line it up. Nice. It's gonna look like this. It is border to border, front, top, side, okay? You still have like, I don't know, like a minute and a half to be able to shift it around if it goes places, and you just press. Yes, we are now have 2 pages together. Take this thing, you put it here, you do that again. Come on, glue. There we go. We put the glue on that flap. I don't mind to spend time on that part because it confused me so many times that I will understand that you will maybe get confused. But then again, maybe it's just me. You take your page, it's got the flap on the side here, turn it around, you fold it, then you see your washi tape right here, or your shaded or whatever you did to that, right? And you line it up with those pages already down. So as we're gonna go, it's gonna get a little bit, you know, harder to line up. You have time to move it. But it's gonna have to be like this, right? Edges to edges. Yes? Yes. Okay. Again, you put this thing down. You take your glue. You take your page with the little flap on your right. Turn it around. You do have your 1/2 inch right here. Yes. And you're gonna put it just like that. You're gonna take the glue. I mean, it's not really, you know, that difficult, but that's the part that you really need to shoo everybody away and just do that. Because it just, I mean, I got confused a few times doing that thing. And then if you start second guessing yourself, and you know, it is not right. Okay, put the page down, border to border. Take this thing off. You want to make sure you line up the bottom and the top. You do have time to adjust if you need to. I mean, it's not it doesn't have to be to the millimeter, okay? But, you know, you cannot have them like this way, that way, right? Make sure it's good. Make sure you like it. That's very important. That's a very important step. Make sure you like it. Okay, so we do that again. Take your page, get the flap on your right hand, turn it around. Make sure you have your strip right there in front of you. Okay, don't start gluing things this way, that way, right? Make sure you have the whole thing folded right in front of you. You put the glue here. Okay, I put it this way. It's a lot easier to assemble on the, on the width than on the height. I mean, if it's easier for you to do it standing up, as per se, or, whatever is easier for you, but that's where worked out the best for me here. Same thing. You take your page, you line up with the top here, border to border, all the way down. Take that thing out. Okay, are we good? And this is gonna be the last one. Take the glue. Come on, little glue. We have a job to do. And then after that is like easy peasy. I mean, you're just gonna breeze through the whole thing. And you are gonna have yourself a paper keeper. Okay, same thing, flap on the right hand side. Make sure you see your washi. Put it down. Make sure you line up on the top. Make sure you border to border, all the way down. Yes, take this off. And this is what it should look like, okay? They're all together. Now, you take your clippies. You clip. This way we're gonna be able to do the cover, waiting for this to dry really well. All right. Now, if you have a tiny little bit of discrepancy of, that one is a little bit higher than the other or something like that, pretty much don't sweat it. Number one, it's handmade, so it's not going to be like perfecto. This is one thing. Two, we are going to put something over it anyway, so it's not like it's going to be a big deal, okay? And that's it. You just let it dry, right? And then, okay, just like double check all your little sides are right here, all your little flips. Yes? Yes. Now we're doing the cover. For the cover, as I said, if you do not have any chipboard, and you don't need heavyweight chipboard at all, like this is a soft weight chipboard, you can take some of your 12 by 12 sheets and glue 2 or 3 of them together, and that will give you exactly the same result. Or you can use also the back of paper pad. It's a 12 by 12, so matter as well, right? The dimension of the cover is gonna be 9.5 inches by 12 inches, other known as 24 centimeters by 30.5 centimeters, which is pretty much the dimension of your sheets, right? So this is what we have, 9.5 by 12. First thing I'm gonna do is cover that. So you can cover it again whichever way you would like to cover it. I'm gonna cover mine with packaging paper, which I'm just gonna crumple in little balls like so, right? And then take an ink pad right here. All right, that's gonna be about that. So that's okay. We just put it we flip it in the back. So I got plenty here. Try to have like a bunch coming out, right? All around. Because as usual, having more is better than not having enough. Okay. And now we're gonna flatten it somehow. Okay, now, glue. All right, I'm gonna glue the board. All right. And I'm gonna put it. All right. All right, we're gonna make it a little bit proper and have kind of the same all around, like so. Okay, now we're gonna glue this flap like this. All right, we're gonna glue this flap. Whichever technique you have to do to cover your cover, covering the cover, just do it your way. You don't have to do it the way I do it, because I'm sure this is not the way you are doing it. Okay, so I'm doing it like this, then I do it like this. This way, I do have a strong corner, right? Angled here. I put a little bit of glue, yeah, right? It kind of reinforced the corner a little bit more. I mean, that's what I think anyway. So keep that in and fold. I have glue all over me. All right. See, it's nice, it's neat. Anyway, for what it's worth. Okay, it is on. See, I like that because you get nice, neat corners. Anyway, you know, everybody's got their own thing, don't they? Okay, so I got one cover, two cover, right? Because of course I did the other one. I'm gonna say we're not gonna spend all day making covers. Yes, now I wanna check if I used one of the background. See, I got plenty all around. See, that's what I'm saying, to have a return wide enough that you can put a regular sheet of paper, right? And then it won't, you know, you're not gonna be having nothing there, right? Is this clear? I hope so. Okay, just like that. I like it. Okay, so we got the covers done. Next thing we have to do is put the covers on the paper keeper. In order to do so, you need that cover, the back cover. You will also need one extra piece, which is gonna be 12 inches high, the height of your cover, right? Which is 30.5 centimeter, and 2.5 inches wide, which is 6.5 centimeter. You are gonna make a mark at 1 inch, which is 2.5 centimeter, and add another half inch, right? Which is 1 centimeter. You make that mark, those two marks, right? So you have a half inch right there in the middle. You take your scoreboard and you score, find a number, any number, and then you score that first line and then that second line. Okay, so that was not too hard. You fold nicely. I mean, it doesn't have to be incredibly folded, right? Both ways. There we go. You round it up. Okay, and then you erase your marks, and then you fold it like so. Okay, this is gonna be going this way, right? Which means you're gonna have here, when we're gonna put it on the paper keeper, like so, you're gonna have that half inch again, that score line that you made. You also have to cover it with, if you're covering them, either you shade it really good, or you use your washi tape or your ribbon or your homemade washi like I did, and you put it right there. So this way, again, you have a visual as per where you actually are going to put the glue. The glue. Like so. Okay. Now, I need scissors right here. All right, so you have something which is going to look like this. You are going to take some glue and you're going to glue 1 inch, right? That inch right there on the side with the washi on the outside on your cover, like so. It will look something like this. Yes? So we're putting glue on here. Glue, 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 glue. All right, so you're putting the glue right on here. Now, don't forget the part, this is why the visual import is pretty important. The part where you have your washi, your seam, or where you, shaded really well, that is on the outside. It is not on the inside, which means you are going to glue this part on here, like so. Okay, you fold it so you can see where you at. Yes, yes. And you're gonna put little clips. Now you can take your paper keeper, which should be dry by now, and reuse those clips. And then this way we can work on the paper keeper itself. All right, this is drying. Now you take your paper keeper, right? You have it like this, and it's all nice, and it's all the way it's supposed to be. When you open it, kind of like so, okay? And then you see your little accordion things here. You realize that, let me show you, that this side here doesn't have any washi. Okay, the reason why we didn't put it first is, one, it would have been very confusing. Two, we were gluing, so just in case some glue came over, or you know how things goes, right? So you're gonna take additional strips of whatever you're putting there and apply them on this piece of your accordion, which is not covered or not aged or not, doesn't have anything on it. And you just gotta slide it right in there, and it should be just fine, like so. And then cut here and cut here. And then you keep on going, because the next one is gonna be just the same. So you just push them a little bit nicely, right? They're gonna open, and then you have another one here, which you're gonna cover just the same. And then with small scissors, you're gonna make it, prettier at the ends, right? So we are doing that on every single one of them. All right, and it should be one more right here. Again, put it flat, really nice. Should be pretty well articulated, really. And here is the last strip. Okay, and clip and clip. So now, okay, you can see your accordion is all covered, right? So whatever you use for that, it should be all covered everywhere. Okay, now we're taking the back cover. Okay, how do we know the back cover? The front cover is where you have a flap on your left-hand side, right? The back cover is where you have no flap. I mean, it goes the other way around. It's still on your left-hand side, but, it's not flapping inside, right? So it looks like this. You do take your cover, you take your clippies off. And you're just gonna do like we did before, which means it's this way. You have your washi or whatever you have here. You're gonna put the glue on here, right? And then you are gonna line up with the side of your paper keeper, just like that, okay? So let's just do that. And then we'll be done with the back cover. Okay, so you have your glue everywhere, like so. Take your cover, put it nicely in front of you. Your paper keeper in front of you, you take your cover, you hold on those sides here, right? And you go right on top of your paper keeper. And you line up with the rest of everything, right? To make sure you really lined up, pick it up, press it down, and now you know you are even here. Check the top and the bottom to see if we got maybe like, you know, a few little 1/10 of an inch here, 1/10 of an inch there. Put your clips and let it dry. Just let it dry. You have your back cover right here. And then we do the front cover, okay? Next step is the front cover. All right, so now it's dry. I mean, we sure hope it is. We take the clips off and we are gonna put the front cover. So you take the front cover. Now you decide up, down, which one is, you know, which one you like better. This is your front cover. So, you know, pay attention to which way you want it to be. And I would try to pay attention as well. Okay, so this is gonna go like so, right? Which means it is gonna be level with your paper keeper. Yes, yes. In order to do that, we are gonna put glue here on that 1 inch right here. This is where you do not put glue. This is why visually you made it different. So I'm gonna take this because here, I don't know what's gonna be here, but I know I don't want glue on it, right? So this side, I'm taking some precaution. Okay, so we're gonna put glue on this. And then when it's all finished and done, you're gonna take, you know, little small scissors, right? And then go and just, you know, make it like nice and tidy, okay? Okay, you take your cover, you decide, all right, which way this is gonna go. This is gonna go like this, okay? And you line it up with your side right here. You know, check the up and down and just put it down, line it up to make sure it's lined up. Again, pick it up, press it down. So it's gonna line up with the bottom of your paper keeper. It is nice, it is exactly the way you want it. And then you take your clips and you clip it all together, okay? And now you let it dry, all right? And that's it, you got your front cover and you have your back cover. And now we're ready to work on the inside. And that's the next step. All right, so it's dry. Taking the clips off. All right, and now we are glued in. Yes, yes. So that's your front cover. Those are your pages. Okay, this is gonna go inside, but we're gonna help it to do that. All right, this is what you have. Right now, what we're gonna do is fold those little flips here, right? So you have your little flips, you have 6 of them. So you score them really well. And we're gonna do one at a time. We're gonna do the same thing to every single one of them. All right. And then we are gonna take the glue. And this is what we're gonna do, okay? So we're gonna do one at a time, right? You're gonna put glue right on the fold. No more, no less. Only on the fold. You're gonna need like maybe 3 clippies, like so. Okay, glue. All right. You fold and you clip. Okay, right? Okay, let's put it this way. See, we can see better and do better. All right. We take the glue again. You put your line of glue on that fold. Now, the reason for that is what it's gonna do is gonna pinch the paper and act like a gigantic paper clip. All right, you fold it. Take clippies and make sure you put them like right at the edge there. So this is where it's gonna pinch. And one more. Let's do this for the time being. So you take your clips from the first one. Take your glue. You put a line of glue. Okay. You fold it. And you clip it. And you do that until you run out of pages to do, or paper clip, whatever comes first. All right, like so. And then you turn your page, and then you do this again, and this again, and this again. Same thing. All right, so now this is dry. I mean, we sure hope so anyway. So we take all the clippies, paper clips, whatever you put there to hold out. Okay, now we are gonna take those little strips that you made, right? Those strips, okay. And I'm gonna show you where they go, and then we're gonna have to glue every single one of them, all right? We are gonna glue, this is how your strip is, right? You have this part here, the angled part, you edged it, or whatever you pick for doing, okay? And you have that 1/2 inch right there. You're gonna put glue on this 1/2 inch. You're gonna hold it like so. You're gonna have glue on your fingers, okay? And then you are gonna glue it right in this fold, okay? Not the first fold, the second fold, this fold. And you're gonna place it right there, just before the fold, like so, okay? You gotta hold your page so you can see you're not interfering with the folding of your page. And then, unfortunately, in this case, you're gonna have to kind of hold it until it actually dries, right? And you're gonna have to do that on every single page. I'm gonna do a few with you. And as I said, it's extremely repetitive, but it's not complicated. So the time-consuming part is gonna be actually to have the glue to dry. I mean, that's not a bad problem, is it? I don't think so. Now I'm gonna fold it in that fold right there. I'm gonna line it up with the bottom of the page and glue it down. Can you fold? You got to make sure, right? You're not on the fold, all right? Hold it. Now, see, one of the reasons we rounded everything is then you don't have to angle, okay? This way, all angles are the same angles. Make sure you don't go on the fold. Good. So now you turn that page, and you're gonna do the same thing here. And you're gonna go on your second fold here, the inside of that page. All right, so when that's done, just to make sure, you're gonna fold all your pages back, right? Press on that accordion and clip again. Now this is gonna be harder to clip because it got a little bit thicker, which is why it was better to do now than to do before, because it would have been more of a problem to assemble the 6 pages and the cover together. You have to be so strong with those clips. Okay, and you let it dry. Next step is we're gonna put those little things here, right? Right. So find them. They should be handy somewhere because we're doing that next. It's all nice and dry. We're taking the clippies off nicely. Okay. And then what we have is now we have pages with two flips, one flip on each side. Yes, yes. So now we're putting those things in. Those things are pretty important, actually. Okay, so the first thing you do is you have to measure your page, which is about 9 inches. So half of that is 4.5. So you make yourself a mark at 4.5. Your page is 23 centimeters, so your mark will be at 11.7 millimeters, right? You take the middle of it. You take your little folding thing here. You find the middle of it, right? So then you're gonna take this and you're gonna make a mark right here at the fold. The reason for that is that you are gonna be able to line up both of your middle together. See how that works? And now you know you're in the middle. To glue it, it's gonna be a little bit the same thing that we did here, which is you're gonna put the glue at the fold. Nowhere else than just the fold. And then you're gonna have to put a clip as well. Okay? So, you put a line of glue at the fold, like so. You line up with your middle of the page where you have put the mark, like so. And you fold it. Now, just take one page, okay? Make sure you don't get the other page dragged into that. Put a clip right at the end there. And while we add it, because we're gonna do, every single page, you take your glue again and you're gonna glue that bottom part right here. Just the bottom, no more, no less. Like so. You put it on your strip right there. Try not to put glue everywhere like I just did. Fold it. Same thing. Take a clippy and clip it. Like so. Right? So this is what you have for each page. So you're doing it on each. Okay, so at this point we take the last clippies off, right? Because it's all dry and good to go. All right, there's a few things you do is you check if you didn't smudge glue everywhere. You can also do, see there's a little bit of glue here. Who knows why? Because we sure didn't glue anything over here. Anyway, all right, you take your ruler, right? And nicely, delicately, you put it under your little right flap here and you make sure you have no glue all the way up. Now you don't undo the glue already there. Is it just to make sure the flap is free on the side. Now, this is the time when you realize that you just discovered the wheel. Why? Let me show you why. You take your papers. Ooh, you get all those nice background papers. You insert your papers. You slide your papers like so. Who needs a binder? Not you. Who needs plastic sheets that you have to slide things in forever? Not you. How many pages can you put? A lot. I can put up to 15 pages. Now, if you want to see what you have, oh, guess what? You can. You see, because you can flip through and see what you have, right? Okay, let's keep on going. Oh, I have more background right there. Okay, well, we're just gonna put them right in. How do we do that? We just put them nicely in, preferably straight, and you just slide them down. Yes, yes. So now, here's the explanation. You do have to glue here in order to, because this is the outside, right? The outside world where everything falls, okay? So that does not fold. You have this one down here. We just hold the whole thing. It's not gonna slip through here. Now, this one is fairly free, right? Except to the bottom, so give it a little bit of clamp to it, okay? Now, you have 9 inches, 9.25, actually, almost, right? Which means you do have 3/4 inch that you can play with, and in centimeters is gonna give you plenty of room as well that you can play sliding in and out. I mean, there's no struggle. This is what I wanted to say. All right, I did print all the set of pages for my journal, right? Well, guess what? I'm gonna put them right there, and then this way, when I get to it, they'll be all in the same place, nice and flat. What else do we have? Well, we got plenty more. I did print the smaller booklet, and they're all together, and there's 12 pages. And I put them like so, and it goes all the way down. And there's more. You can put your coffee dye paper, and you slide it all the way down. Perfect. There's your embellishment. Here they are. And you slide them all the way down. So my point is, it is a paper keeper. It means that you can keep all your, and I have cardstock in this bunch, right? You can keep all your papers together. You can keep your whole kit together. You can make your own kit of anything you want. All your grid paper, all your different coffee dye paper, whatever you want to keep together. You don't need a binder. You don't need plastic sleeve. That's all you need is regular craft cardstock, glue, scissors, you're done. And now you got plenty of room to have as much thickness as you would like to have. So this is one of the reasons I say 6 pages. Paper is heavy, right? Now, can you put 10 pages, 20 pages? I'm pretty sure you can. But why would you do that? Because it's a paper keeper, but it's also a paper sorter. You can you can sort them by theme, by colors, by kits, by flowers, botanical, animals, butterflies, whatever you want to do. You have all your papers. I mean, how cool is this, right? You have all your papers nice and neat. Now, question comes to, what about this page here? Because there's nothing in that page. Well, we're going to take care of that. That is next. We're going to take care of front cover, back cover, and the back of the pages. Good? Good. Okay, so we're doing this page right here, which is the back of the front cover. You can do anything you want. You can put a big envelope. You can put whatever you would like to do, you can do. If you do print your background, any of them, right? And if you print it borderless, this is what you have. I mean, for example, this is what you could have. All right, I printed it on cardstock, okay? And it takes about the whole page. Actually, it's pretty nice. You know, it's framed like good. So what I wanted to do with that was put 2 pockets, but I wanted to make a visual, and I thought like, why not, right? Okay, so to do that, I printed 3 of the same, right? And now I have to figure out how big I want the pockets. So first pocket, I mean, they're gonna be the same width, the width of so 8.5, right? Because it's 11 by 8.5. Okay, so first pocket, we're gonna put about, if I put it right here, it's a pocket that big, right? And then I put the other one here, and I have a pocket that high. I think that kind of looks good. So because it's a visual, I'm going to do visual. So I have to kind of cut on the Duke of Wellington, and then this one, if I put it here, I'm going to have to cut about on that little stool right there, right? So the thing is, if you do that, you always keep the bottom part. Don't cut from the bottom up. You cut from the top down. So we say Duke of Wellington. All right, so let's put this here and do the Duke of Wellington right here. Okay, which is a good thing because then you don't have to measure, you see. You just, oh, I'm gonna cut right here. And you do. Am I doing the right thing? Yes. All right, then you keep that because, you know, you can do so many other things with this, as we know. All right, and this is gonna be, oh, and then you play with it until you kind of match, you know, exactly where that should be. So then, you see what I'm saying? You don't see that there's a, I love to do the things. Okay, now this one we say we cut on the top of the stool. All right, and then you're gonna keep this and this somewhere else, right? Because we're not gonna deal with that. So I'm gonna have two pockets and they're gonna be one here. Now, if you line in the bottom, okay, because we didn't touch the bottom part and we assume that the copy just grabbed the paper the exact good way. So if you line up your bottom, you should be exactly right. Now you have to line up your side, you know, so you don't have a little line here not matching, making you dizzy, okay? And then you take the last one, you put it down, you line it in the bottom again, and look at that. You wouldn't even being able to say where it was. Okay, that's what I want to achieve here. So I'm still gonna do this thing here. Okay, so because I hate things in the middle, so I'm gonna make one on this side and then one on that side, right? Now, this is not gonna do anything to your visual because you still have the same paper in the back, right? See what I mean? It is not gonna show, even though you have it, like right here, but you cannot really see it, right? Okay, now we're gonna put it together and then we're just gonna glue it on that. Now, my question is, should I edge or not? It's pretty cool that you cannot see it, but you know, I mean, how cool can you be, right? I'm gonna put a little edging, not too much, just a tiny little bit, right? Okay, this is one. I couldn't even see where this one was. Okay. All right, so we got 8.5 wide. We want to keep 8.5 wide. So we're not just going to glue it down. We're going to put little strips. All right, so you're going to need 1, 2, 3. This is 1 inch, and I folded it in the middle for whichever length of what you have, right? Because eventually they're going to get cut. So you need to put one on this side, and then cut this, and one on that side, and then cut that. And maybe I should have enough to do 2 here. One, yes, see, I'm gonna put 1 here, and then I got enough to put 1 there, right? So let's say you need 3 of those strips. So 8.5 by 1 inch, and then you fold them in the middle. You do 3 strips, you should have plenty. And then you do one, another one is gonna be 8.5, but it's gonna be 2 inches, and you fold it in the middle. And that's the one we're gonna put in the bottom of this one. Because this one is gonna go like so, but it's gonna wrap the other 2. Okay, so this way nothing falls anywhere. Yes, yes, okay. Okay, and then you place it right at the edge of your paper, all the way down. Okay, and it has to be, you know, loose here, right? And then you cut this. So I'm gonna angle it a little bit, like so. Okay, and then we're gonna do the same thing for the other side. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna line up with the top right here and make sure this is freely. There we go. All right, now we are gonna glue this to that. In order to do so, just gotta, so you line it up in the bottom. So you know your bottom is right. You line up on the side right here, and then you fold, and then you mark that fold, right? Then you check that you're good on this side. You fold, and you mark that fold. Okay, at this point in time, it'd be good to have like a paper clip or something. So you didn't do all that for no reason at all, right? How about 2 paper clips? There we go. Okay, and you're all good. So you are gonna flip around and glue this to that. Yes, yes, glue. You take your paper clips off and then you adjust on that side, right? And that is good to go. And then you flip again, and this is exactly where you want it. So what you're gonna do is you are gonna paper clip this side. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not an incredible thing either. Okay, so that's your first one. Second one, you're gonna do just the same thing, right? Gonna line up in the bottom, and you're gonna do the same thing here. Okay, so, all right, same thing, because they should line up in the bottom, right? Okay, so you paper clip, you're good, you fold, yes, yes. So you're gonna glue that little strip right there. Okay, we're gonna do that, and then before we do the rest of it, we got to do the most important part. Okay, so let's not forget, you still have to do your bottom, right? And I almost forgot. All right, so you get to do your bottom. Your bottom goes right here, and you have 1 inch right there. Okay, so you glue this in your bottom part. Sorry, I almost forgot I glue, because you know, if it's a pocket, things gonna have to stay in, don't they? All right, so you put your strip right there. Okay, and same thing, you open it, right? Now, let's go back here. We're lining this thing back again, and that is good, right? And we did glue this side. So we paper clip this side, turn it around, and then we're gonna glue this to that. All right, and then this is gonna cover this way, so this is gonna be glued right here. So what's gonna happen is nothing that you're gonna put in there is gonna go anywhere. Yes, yes. Why don't we angle those things a little bit? Okay, now I have this like this. Am I good? Yes, I am. Can take that off. Yes. All right, now this is gonna go. So you realize I have 2 pockets here. Ooh. It's gonna go right here. Yes. So I'm thinking maybe I can add maybe little things later on. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep it like that. This is done. I will just have to glue it here. I'm gonna keep it like that just in case I feel like adding up something maybe later on, right? We never know. So I'm just gonna keep it here. I know this is taken care of, right? Okay, because I don't want to spend like we got 6 pages to go. Okay, here I thought we do something like, you know, like this and this, right? So we are gonna do those dimension. If you want to take a screenshot, go right ahead. All right, this is gonna be on this side here. It's gonna be like so from the end. Okay, I'm gonna give you my dimension, but maybe your dimension are a little bit different. Just keep that in mind. From the end of that tab to the side of your page, right? In my case, it is 6 1/4, but I'm gonna add 1 inch to that. because I'm gonna fold it. Okay, so altogether this is gonna be 7¼ inches, other known as 18.5 centimeter. Yes, I'm gonna go up here for 4 inches, which is 10 centimeters. And on the top there, I'm gonna go out 3 inches, right, which is 7.5 centimeter, which altogether is gonna give you 4 inches, which is 10 centimeter. Okay, the height is gonna be 9 inches, 23 centimeter. So if you want to take a screenshot of that, and then we can start cutting and doing it. Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm gonna use a background. Why? Because we do have background, and I did that background on cardstock. So, okay, 7¼ which is 18.5 centimeters, right? Height is gonna be 9 inches. So we go 9 inches, and that is 23 centimeters. 9 inches right there. Okay, so right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut from here, from the 7¼ right, all the way up. Okay, now we keep this because we keep everything. Okay, now here we cut the height, our 4 inches. We keep this, so we got 4 inches, 10 centimeters, 4 inches right here. This is 4 inches, and right here we said we're going 4 inches as well, and it is right here. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna line up our ruler from this mark to that mark, right, and cut. All right, so you mark 4 inches here, 4 inches here, and then you cut from here to there. Right now we are good, except we need our 1 inch here that we gotta score. Right here, yep. Done. Okay, and I'm gonna fold right there. Ta-da! And I am gonna round it up. This way, when it's folded, it looks good, right? I'm gonna edge a little bit. It is gonna go like so, right there. So the most important thing for me is gonna be to line up on this here, right? And it's kind of lined up with this. So that's a relief. Now, I'm gonna glue the bottom all the way across, right? But what's gonna happen is, because we have the fold, and I wanna make sure that it's not gonna be too, you know how it gets wobbly? You know what I'm saying? It's like too far from the, because we gotta fold and it's cardstock. If you're afraid that this is gonna be a little bit too open, let's say, let's call it that, right? We're just gonna do like we did for those. We're just gonna put a dab of glue right there at the fold. And what it does is then act like a paper clip, which means when you are gonna glue this to this, it's gonna stay nice and flat. It's not gonna pull up from your sheet. I hope I'm making sense. Anyway, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. I'm just saying, I like to do that because then this way it just lay really nice and flat on the page that you want to put it on, okay? And then I will glue it all the way here. I will glue it here and all the way across here, like so. So then again, I'm gonna have two paper clip effect, the bottom part right there, because I have that tab, so it's gonna hold, okay? So when you put your paper, because this is gonna be glued on that, right? So it's gonna go in that tab, okay? And then here is gonna go against here, but it's gonna be flat. It's gonna actually, it's like things are not gonna be like swishing all around. I sure hope that makes sense, okay? So this is gonna be this page, right? Got that? Okay. Now, this page right here, I thought we do a belly band, but we're gonna use this. So in order to do a belly band, we're gonna have to cut a strip in the 12 by 12, that pad, the 12 by 12 pad, because you're gonna need the most of the length, right? Okay, so you cannot use the small pad. You gotta cut a strip, which is gonna be 3¼ So 3¼ I round it up, right? I round it all the sides. And it has to go in here, yes. So that should be this width, right? And it has to go in, but not all the way in because, you know, this way it's like a belly band that you can actually open up if you wanted to. Or if you want to glue it, you can glue it. But I figured, like, you know, why not, right? And then whatever you're going to put in there is going to go in the back here and it's going to hold with this here. And this is here, so might as well use it, yes? So the total, if your page should be 12, right? So the total length on this is gonna be 11½ all right? Now, let me do the centimeter things. 8.2 centimeter and 29 centimeters high, okay? And then we're gonna put it like this. Again, that's an idea. If you want to put another envelope there, you can, all right? And what I'm going to do on that strip, I'm going to glue here for at least 1¼ which is 3 centimeters, okay? And I'm going to put glue, and I mean glue, right? And then I'm going to put it in there, line up with the top, and then glue it down. Same way, because it will be glued here, it's going to lay flat. Yes? Okay, this is going to be this page right here. So this page, okay, so we do have this tab here. So I was thinking, why don't we do another 3 tabs, right? But they're not gonna be folded in the middle and go on the other side like this one, see? Right? We're just gonna do this, like the same visual than that, right? So we need 3 of those. And this is gonna be 1¾ inches, which is 4 centimeters. And here it is gonna be 8.2 centimeters. And most importantly, in inches, 3¼ which is actually the exact same dimension than this. Okay, so pretty much you want 3 of those. But those are the dimension. If you want to take a screenshot, go right ahead, right? But what I wanted to do was glue them. So you're gonna take your middle here, which is 12 inches. So that's gonna be 6. Okay, you figure out your middle right here. Okay, you're gonna line up your middle, glue it here. You're gonna do the same thing here. I mean, you know how to calculate the middle of something, right? Okay, it's 22 centimeters, so there's gonna be 11 centimeters, and it is gonna be in inches, 4¼ right? So same again, you figure out the middle of this, and then you're gonna glue it right here. I'm gonna get to the glue application, okay? You do the same thing with this one. Now, this one, okay, you do have here, you have that 1/2 inch, right? You didn't want to glue anything on that because that's what gives you those things here, okay? So those are this is a moving part. So you line up on this line right here, your 1 inch, you know, strip that you glued on. This is where you're gonna line up on. And then you're gonna glue it just like this. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Now the beauty of those, which means you're gonna be able to tuck things here or there or here, right? I thought, you know, this is kind of funny. I mean, funny. Kind of like a whimsical way to go about it. Put little pieces of paper here and there. Okay, same thing. When you're gonna put your glue here, you're gonna have to glue at least a 1/2 inch, right? Which is going to be a 1½ centimeter. Because again, if you do that, this is going to give you a paper clip effect, which means things are going to stay stuck in it. All right, they're not just going to fly around. Okay, so that's what I think I will do for this page. So for that page, we are going to take a piece of cardstock, and we're going to do the same dimension that this tab down here, which, hold on a second, just in case we don't remember, is 3¼ by 1¾ 8 centimeters by 4½ centimeters. But that's the exact replica of this. And then we're gonna cut a strip, which is gonna be the same width, which is 8 centimeters, 3¼ inch, okay? And the length, which should be 7¾ or 19.7 centimeters, is right here if you want to do a screenshot. But if you don't want, let's say you don't want to measure, pretty much it has to be the same width than this. And it has to be the same length than your page up to the 1 inch that you glue down. So this strip has to just align itself on that little bump there to the end of your page. And that should be 7¾ or 19.7 centimeters. Then you're going to do your extra little tab that you made, the exact same one than that. And this one, you're going to glue right on the top of that 1 inch flap that you glue down. Yes? Now the glue, for this one, you're going to glue about 3/4 down, right? 3/4 down, which is 2 centimeters of glue that you're going to put right here. And this one here, you're going to glue 1 inch of it, which is 2½ centimeters. Actually, you're going to glue the whole part right here. You're going to glue it this way. And then you preferably align both of them, which means you are going to have sideways belly band. But if you want to, you'll be able to take it off and put it back. Now, the last page here is going to be so easy because I'm going to have here all the embellishment, right? And then I thought the part of the embellishment, which is going to be kind of a little bit maybe not a problem, but I don't know really what I want and do I have it. I thought I will take the printout of the list of words, right? And I will cut everything out of that, yes? And I will just glue it on that page. The reason is if I'm looking for words, instead of going through all the little cutout and this and that, I can see here what I have. And I thought this is really good because all the other embellishment are pretty forward. You know, you get tags, you get labels, you get this, you get that. I mean, visually, you know what you have. The words, it's a little bit, you really have to look into it. So I thought, you know, it would be like a little blackboard of what do you have available. I'm going to just glue this page down right here. And now, because this is where a little bit more fun is happening, we're going to take care of this, the back cover and this page, right? And then we'll be almost done. Okay, so we're doing the back cover and the last page. Now, back cover, we're going to put that on the side for a second. This page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of the background and I think I'm going to put it like so and it will be all nice. This is going to be the background of this. But we're going to do a lot of things to it. So first, we're going to round the corners. So here's the setup. I'm going to have this like this, right? I'm going to have envelopes going into there. And most importantly, I'm going to have a little strip, which is going to be all the way here, all the way up here with paper clip. Why? Why not? Two, because then I can clip little thingy things that, you know, anything I want, I'm going to be able to clip it here. Like some of the embellishment, I'm not too sure. Maybe I use them. Then I can put them there. And I think, oh, how useful, right? So this is what's going to be on the top here. Here, I'm going to put a strip of cardstock in the back, mind you, which I'm going to put a slit in it. And you're going to see why, because this is so smart. Because we are very smart people. And then here, I'm going to take an envelope, I already made one, right? I use the misprint. Yeah, you're gonna have misprint eventually. This is a good thing. I mean, you have to look at it as a good thing because you can reuse them for other things. So I have this front here and this back here, and maybe I'm gonna add up some stuff. But now the thing with envelope, if you're gonna put things in envelope, you know, like you have to reach in. So we're gonna use envelope, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put gussets on the side. This way, when you take it and you open it, you can actually see what's in it, right? Why not? What am I using? I'm using those envelopes. As you can see, I broke the bank. I think it was $1. So I'm gonna use this. So now what are we doing to the envelope? That's what we're doing right now. Okay, so in order to do that, you're gonna need this, which is gonna be an envelope. You're gonna use some coffee dye paper. You can use any paper you want. This is about the height of my envelope, right? So take your envelope. When this one is, hold on, because we get to measure everything. This 5 3/4 by 4.5 and a little bit more. In centimeters, it's 14.5 by 11.5. But you can really definitely use any little envelope that you have. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so you take your envelope like so, and then you open it. You take your little coffee dye or whatever other things that you're doing, and then you are gonna cut about the height of your envelope, right? Yes. And then you're gonna cut 2 strips of 2 inches. And this is gonna be the easiest thing to do. And then this way, you know, it's gonna be way easier because you're gonna cut your embellishment and then you get to put them somewhere. And as we know, they go in a box, blah, blah, blah. We don't know where the box is. And then we found them like a year later. It's like, where were you, right? Exactly. So you have your 2 strips. You fold them in half. Okay? So you got that. And then you gotta flip back down, right? This way, and do the same thing on the other side. Yes? Yes. So now you got that little accordion, right? Okay? All right. Now, you keep this here. You take your envelope, right? I'm gonna take my favorite tool, which is the fish knife. You can take scissors, you can use whatever you have, right? And I'm gonna open the envelope. So this way, we're not gonna spend an hour and a half making envelopes. How about that? I'll take it. Any day of the week. Okay, now you take this. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna fold it right in the middle like it was before, with your little flap on the side like so, right? Now, the way you know it's right is if you take a paper clip, right? And it falls in the middle. Yes? Okay. This is how it has to be done, right? With the middle going down like that. Gonna take your envelope and you're gonna glue this on that. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna kind of round it, bits making angles, which are not the same here and not the same there, just saying. I mean, you can angle if you want to, all right? And it's gonna go like so, right? So you don't go all the way to the top and you don't go all the way to the bottom. Yes? You know, you leave like a little tiny bit. Yes? So you do the same thing for the other side. The other side is the same thing. Where you can put your paper clip down like this, it's gonna be facing you. And it's gonna go like so. So we round it on the inside, right? This side, the side that you're gonna glue on. And it's gonna go like so, right here. Yes? So we're gluing this. When it's glued, this has got to be in. You get to be able to put your paper clip in. Yes? All right, so now we're doing this side. And this side, this is where my paper clip can go, and it's gonna go like this. It's gonna be facing me. All right, and then you're gonna put it right here at the edge of your envelope. Yes? Yes. So now we have that. Now, if you wanna put something in here, go ahead. If you wanna put something here, go ahead. And then we are gonna glue this. Let me take the one that I already made. The one I already made, I put something in the front and then I put something in the flap. I didn't put anything here. Okay, so, but I wanna cover this. So to cover this, I'm gonna keep it this way because it's a lot easier to move around. I have a few other misprint. Anyway, so this is gonna be facing me this way, right? So this is the top. And now I'm gonna try to figure out where I could put this that it will be cool. Whoa, that's nice. And then I have the pencil right there. Writing is on the side. That's perfect. So there's no upside. There's no up or down, right? When there's writing, the best bet is to put it on the side. This way you can put it this way or that way. If you put it, you know, either up or down, then, okay, I trace it. And then you get this inside the line. I'm gonna glue this here, and then here, I'm gonna take this. And then we glue everything at the same time, right? Round it and call it a day. Okay, and make sure your envelope is the right side up and all of that jazz, right? Okay. All right. So I'm gonna glue this like this and this like this. Okay. And then I meet you. We got 2 envelopes and then we see what we do with them. Yes, yes. Okay, so I glued my, you know, little embellishment for those envelopes, right? And now you glue this. So you make sure it's flat everywhere here. And you put your glue on both sides. Okay. And then you just put it down. Make sure it's flat in the bottom there. And here you have it. We're just gonna give that a little bit of time to dry. But this is what you have. Like suddenly whatever you're gonna put in there is gonna be really accessible. Now we're gonna work on this. So here we're gonna put this down. Then we're gonna have to glue this down. And then we're gonna have to think, right? So this is gonna have to be glued here. But is gluing gonna be enough? I'm not too sure. So maybe I'm gonna put a brad here and a brad there, right? This way, I know for a fact this is not gonna leave this page. Right here, we're gonna do something like this. I'm gonna show you why. We're gonna take a piece of cardstock and we're gonna do a slit on it, all right? But what we're gonna do first, we're gonna glue it in the back of this paper, like so. And then we're gonna do a slit on it. And what's gonna happen with that is you are gonna be able to take your envelope. What's this, right? You have your envelope right here. It's got all the little stuff. You get your little gusset, this and that. And what it's going to allow you to do is to insert your envelope. And here it is. Your envelope is like magically in the air, standing right here. And then we're going to figure out where we want it. And then the second envelope, this one, is going to go right here. Okay? And then you just put one on the top of the other. Ta-da! Right? That's my plan, okay? So that's what we are gonna do. So we're just gonna mark. This is where we want to have the little paper clip, right? I'm just gonna put a little mark here and a little mark there. So when I want to line it up, I know that it's gonna have to touch here and there. And of course, we're gonna make sure this is straight. As per the strip here, we need to have the slit somewhere here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a mark on the side. This is where we want the slit. From the slit, you're gonna figure out where the bottom of your flap goes, and this is how wide this is gonna be. But we are gonna measure everything, and we're gonna have it all perfect, right? So this is gonna be with brads. We're gonna need 2 brads. I gotta have to search for that. And this, I'm gonna figure out all the measurement, and then this way everybody knows what they're doing. Cool, cool. All right, so we're gonna have to make that strip for the slit, okay? Now, as we said, it has to be at least as tall as the back of your envelope. I don't know which envelope you're using, but no matter what, your envelope is gonna be the flap of your envelope, right? You see where I'm here? Okay. Then you're gonna need to add a 1/2 inch up. All right. You use your the flap of your envelope to measure from the bottom of your piece of cardstock. You can even trace a line here where your envelope is, and then you need another 1/2 inch, okay? And then you cut. In this specific case, okay, this is gonna be 8.5 because this piece of paper here is 8.5, right? So we want it to cover the whole place. All right, now you have a piece of cardstock in this specific case, which is 3¼ 8.5 centimeter by 8.5 inches, the whole width of your paper, which in centimeter is 21.5. Now, because you measure your flap like so, and you added up a 1/2 inch right here, you're gonna trace your line, and your line should be, again, it's a visual thing, depending which envelope you have. You take your flap of the envelope, put it down your strip of cardstock, flip it, and trace that line right there, right? And you add another 1/2 inch. I cannot explain it better than that. I sure hope it makes sense. You're gonna take half of what you have. So in this case, it's 8.5, so it's gonna be 4¼ So 4¼ you make a mark, and then because you decided it would be 7 inches, or whichever length your envelope is, okay, you 7 inches, half of that is 3.5. So you make a mark here, and then you take 3.5, and then you make a mark here. All right, now we're gonna have to do the slit. I think the best way to go about it is to glue this on this. Now, we did make a mark. We said it should be around here, right? That was your visual, okay? And in this case, the visual said it's about 9 centimeters, which is about 3.5, right? So take your page, go down 3.5. We're gonna work on the white side. All right, 3.5 right here. And we said that's where the slit will have to be, if I remember properly, right? We said the slit should be there. So this mark right here is gonna be the mark of your slit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna line up this piece. You can keep all your little marks there, it doesn't bother anybody. You're gonna line up this piece on your marks, yes? So this way, this line, which is the slit, is exactly where you wanted it to be. This is making sense? I hope so. Now, we are gonna glue it, but this is the thing. You're gonna glue, I'm gonna do it with you, but I'm just saying. We're gonna put glue on the top here. We're gonna put glue on the sides here. And this is it. We're not putting any glue here, right? Because your envelope is gonna go in it, okay? So if you wanna have a visual for your glue application, right? Just make a little line on the side here, and then you know this is where your glue should be. Yes? Okay. So when we're gonna glue this on this, we're gonna line up this line with the mark that we have on the side, and we're gonna glue this, this, and this. Okay? So we're doing the glue, and then we do the slit. Glue. Whew. And I'm gluing this side. Yes, yes. Well, you know, being cautious is a good thing. All right, you're gonna line the slit line on this line, like so. And if you line with the side of your paper, you should be, see, exactly right here. Yes? And that is glued, and that has to dry. Okay, so you have that line, right? You're gonna take like 1/8 of an inch, like 2 millimeters or 3 millimeters, okay? And try to have it parallel somehow, about this much. Well, I'm gonna trace it, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what you end up. And that should be, it's about 1/8 of an inch, and it's about 2 millimeters, right? Now, I found out that That's the first thing to do is to do this right there. Okay, just join those two lines. Cut on those, join this line to that line on both sides. All right, and now you're gonna cut on the first line and then on the second line. Okay, don't go like this, right? You go from here to there. Yes? Okay. You press on your ruler, don't press on the blade. Because you press on the blade, you're going to move the ruler. So you press on the ruler and then you slide the blade. As many times as you're going to need to do that until it's cut. And it's way better to do it that way. See, because you make that little cut at the end, it kind of stops your blade, which is a good thing. And I think I'm good. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the second line. Press on your ruler and you glide with your blade. Now, I saw some movement here, so we should be good. Take that little guy like so. And then you have your paper in the back, right? I mean, it's not surgery, but it could be, right? Try not to pour, okay? Because otherwise it just rip your paper. Okay. Now you have this. Yes? Yes. Okay, so now let's see what it looks like. Whew. So this is gonna be like so. We're gonna put it like, ta-da, right? So you have your slit right there, which means that you're gonna be able to take your envelope, right? This is gonna be glued down, mind you. Not here, right? This is going to be glued down all around. And you're going to be able to insert your envelope just like that. And it is going to be strong enough because you did put cardstock in the back, right? So your paper is not going to rip. That's one of the reasons why we do that. Now we get to do this thing here. So this thing here, and then we glue. This thing here, I took a strip of cardstock in one of the multiple cutout that I had. So of course it's gonna have to be 8.5 long, right? Because we're doing on the paper. I made it 1.25, which is 3 centimeters. So 1.25, 3 centimeters. You can make it whatever you want. I mean, this is just, to say this is what we're doing. And the only thing I'm gonna do to it is I'm going to edge it. All right. All right. Now, we say we're going to glue both ends, but we also said we're not too sure about that because, we're going to have paper clips. So I figure we kind of put brads. So this way it's really going to stay on. We also going to put glue, but we are going to put brads. Now, strongly suggest you put the paper clip before you actually attach it to your background. So anyhow, make a long story short, we had a mark right here. We said this is where we're going to put it. So now we know. It's right. See, that's why it's good to make little marks. We want it straight. So we're going to see because, again, that was a visual, right? So, all right, we're going to say 3/4 down. There's a mark here and 3/4 down this way. So which means when we're going to glue it, we're going to line up on this and this. So we're gonna glue only the sides and then we're gonna put the brads on, right? So first we put the paper clips on. I don't know how many you want to put, leave some space on both ends, of course, right? Okay, so we're gonna glue here and there like so. You line up on your 2-layer mark. Okay, that looks cool. Now, I strongly suggest you get yourself clippies because we're gonna glue, but we want it to stay glued before we put the, until we put the brads. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so we're putting the glue. All right, then, okay, you realize you're gonna put glue on the ends there, right? So put glue on the ends. A good 1/4 inch. Let's not be shy with glue. Okay, I know we're gonna put brads, but still. All right, we line up with our little mark and your paper, of course, like so. Exactly right. Okay, and then we're gonna do this and then that, and we're gonna let it dry. Okay, so now this is glued on both ends. We have to put our brads. We need a pokey. All right, so we poke. Now, Oh, look at that, it works. Okay, and I'm gonna press them down. There goes number 2. They look about right. Okay. All right, and then if I want them to stick really well, I should put a little bit of washi on it, like so. Now, don't use your good washi, okay? Use like stupid washi. I'm just saying. We know we have some of those. Okay, like this, right? And then we are gonna glue on here. In order to glue this on this, right, we want to be straight. So what we're gonna do is put little marks here at about 1/2 inch, okay, which is like, I don't know, 1 point something centimeter. It doesn't matter where, really, but at least so you can line up on something so it's straight. And you are gonna line up on this line right here. Not this one, mind you, because this one is a moving part, okay? Don't forget that 1/2 inch is a moving part, okay? You do not glue anything on there. In the back here, right here, you're gonna write no glue. Because, you know, we go like this and then we're like, oh no, I shouldn't have a, well, okay, so no glue here. We're gonna glue all around here and here. In order to do that and to have it straight, we're gonna put our piece of paper in pretty much where it should be, line up on that side, reach your mark right here on both ends. So now you're gonna fold this and you're gonna put your glue right there, all the way to in the bottom here, right? And then we're gonna undo and take out. Yes? Yes. All right, so I think I need a third hand. I need a third hand to undo my glue. Okay, let's do that. All right, we're flipping this like so. And we're putting the glue. It says no glue. I know it's upside down, but still you don't put any glue here. And then you put your glue on the side. Okay, on the side there. Yes, and in the bottom here, because then we're gonna catch up from the bottom. Okay, now we take this. We make sure we are on our little mark here. Then we lined up on this side here. Does it look all good? Yes, yes, we like it. Done. Okay. Okay, now you take your bottom part nicely and then you glue whatever didn't get glued. Put it on your paper. Don't put it on your cardstock. Put it on the paper. Now you can flip this. All right, and this page is done. Done, done, done. You did your envelope, whichever one you want to put on the top or in the bottom. You get your little gussets. It's all good. You see that? Look. Bam, right? And then you put this one right here, right? And this is this page. And now what we're gonna do is this page, the back cover. Back cover, I'm gonna do a big envelope. So what my plan is I'm gonna make a big envelope with a window and I'm gonna put it right here, right? And then I got a little something for here too. But okay, so I took my paper pad, right? 8.5 by 11. This is the small paper pad, the small, small size cardstock, right? I covered it with the background that I want. So you can cover it with whichever background you like. Okay, and then we're measuring things, kind of like visualizing the whole thing. I'm gonna put the little prototype envelope here, okay? So you're gonna want your envelope to be about here, right? Don't forget you got a 1/2 inch, okay? About here, and then it's gonna be, if I put it here, it's gonna be a 1/2 inch higher. Yes, yes. All right, let's just do this. Look at that, now we can see something. Okay, so this is 4 3/4, 12 centimeters, okay? This is 8.5, which is 21.5 centimeters. So this is gonna be 4 1/4. This is gonna be the middle, right? So if you guys don't want to measure, let me tell you, what it ended up to be. Okay, 10.8. all right, centimeters, all right? And then you're gonna have to do your middle. You wanna go about down here, it's gonna put it up 1 inch. I wanna put something here. I'll show you that too, but so I need some room here. So if I put it here, because it's gonna be the return, it's gonna be a 1/2 inch higher. Yes, yes. I'm telling you, you get to think about everything. So I think about here will be good. We gotta measure as we go. Let's do 1.25 inches. All right. So 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches. Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna measure here my 4.25, 4.25 right here. Okay. My envelope is 12 centimeters, other known as 4 3/4. So this is gonna be, I'm gonna need 6 centimeters on each side. I'm gonna do it in inches, okay? Don't worry. So here to 6 to 12 in inches. It's gonna be 2 3/8, right? And then you go all the way to 4 3/4. Yes, because that's the size of your envelope. As we discussed previously, we're gonna have to do a little bit wider. Yes, because you need wiggle room. So we're gonna go a 1/2 inch on both sides. I think it's easier to do it that way because then this way you understand why we're doing it that way. And then if your envelope is a different size, then you know how to go about it. All right. So pretty much we're gonna do a slit from here to here. As we said before, it's gonna have to be some kind of opening. So we're gonna do another parallel, very small, like 1/8 of an inch. I mean, you can eyeball that. I know you can, right? Got it? All right. And now you're gonna cut from here to here. You're gonna cut the top and then you're gonna cut the bottom, as I did before. Okay. I'm going to do this part first and this part second. I mean, if you start with this one's going to be second, right? Just saying. All right. Then you're going to take your ruler and then you're going to go first on the first line and then on the second line. All right. And now you should be able to take that off. Take your time. All right, see, we can all do that. That's really easy. So what's gonna happen now? Ooh, look at that. What's gonna happen now is, because you will have glued the back here on your envelope, right? It's gonna slide right in there, like so. It's gonna slide in there and hold your envelope like so. How cool is this? I think so, all right? I want to show you how exactly this is gonna work. I'm gonna have to glue, why don't we glue that? Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna glue this on here. We said a 1/2 inch of glue. And then you're gonna put it on the top of your envelope, like so. Now, of course, you decorate your envelope first and all of that, right? Okay, now this is gonna dry. Gonna put some paper clip. Okay, now, in order to glue this, well, number one, you're gonna have to glue it straight. Now, that's a given, okay? You are gonna glue. Now, how far does it go down? Let's say 4 inches. Yes? So we're gonna have 4 inches, all right? Because we're on the side of cautious here, okay? And then do it for yourself, because then because there's nothing worse than, thinking about something else and oops, right? Okay, so pretty much to here, and you're right here, no glue, right? Okay, you're gonna glue everything else. Yes, we're doing it right now. But you don't put glue here. Okay, now we are gonna have to put it straight. All right, and then again, just let it dry really good. Now, so you're gonna take this, right, which is your flap, which is kind of dry, but not really dry, but I want to show it to you. And then you're gonna insert it in the slit, right? And it's gonna go down only to that point, right? Ta-da! And then, you know, you can wiggle it, center it, whichever way you need to have it, okay? So it is gonna be right here. Now here, this is what happened to me. When I started to look at that kit, and I think you kind of guessed that, right? When I was going through the embellishment. Okay, the thing that I really like were the pens. I really totally enjoyed that. Okay, so what I did too, because those measurements for the envelopes and everything, they're not out of nowhere, is what I did is, let me show you. I did a fast draft of all the embellishment and I cut them all. The reason I did that is at least I knew what kind of dimension I needed in order to store them, right? And there was the pens. And I love the pens. And I wanted to do something really cool for the pens. So this is what I did for the pens. And I thought I will put the pens right here. Those will be my pens. And I think that's a pretty cool idea. So in order to do that, this is the easiest thing possible. And see, you're going to be able to put all the pens, because I cut it, all the pens. You're gonna be able to put them and store them nicely there. And we're gonna glue this down like this, and they don't go anywhere. They're nice and tucked, and I thought like, ooh, they look so cool, right? Right, okay. So in order to do this, you're gonna need to take one of your strips, whichever one you have, somewhere of all your cutout that you did. I have one here, right? And this is 8 1/4 by 1 1/2, which is 21 1/2 centimeter by 4 centimeters, right? So you're gonna cut that strip and then you're gonna round it. Yes. Then you're gonna take your 2-inch, I make circle thing, right? So you make your 2-inch circle. So you have your 2-inch circle, right? You are gonna cut it in half, like so. Okay? And what you're gonna do, you're gonna glue like a 1/4 inch down, okay? And you're gonna glue it here and there, like so. And that's what's gonna do, is gonna give you 2 big round paper clip. And then you're gonna be able to put your pens in there. And I think this is the coolest thing, isn't it? Look at that. You can look at your little pen, which one you want to use. I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to put it back in. See, you can put all your pens. And this, I'm going to glue right there. All right? And that is, ladies and gents, this is your paper keeper. Right there. Now, what do we got left to do? Of course, you're going to do the cover. I'm going to work on that. More importantly, we're going to have to do something for the spine here and a closure. And that is next. All right, so I cleaned up everything. So, you know, it's nice and neat, right? We need a little bit of a breather. We're doing the spine and the closure. So we're gonna do, now what I did here, right? I put what I wanted on my cover, I put on, ooh, this is pretty, right? It's one of the background. Anyhow, because what we're gonna put on for the spine and for the closure is gonna go over what I wanna put on the cover. It's gonna go at least 1 1/2 inch on the cover, 4 centimeter, okay? On both sides. So you know, depending what you want to put on your cover. Anyhow, let's get on with that. We're going to need something to go here and something to go here. Now, the good thing is, okay, first you kind of measure the thing, the spine. Oh, what you got? right? And if I measure my spine, we're gonna go with 1.5, right? Because, you know, so we can like hold it a little bit, just like that. See? Just like that, right? Okay. Now you just keep that in mind. And we're gonna put 3 binding, if I may say. So 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. All right. In order to do that, and I'm gonna keep this here, so this way, let me actually, if I have one kind of done, I can show you what it's gonna look like, all right? We are gonna make a few of those guys, and it's gonna go like this and like that in the back. And there's gonna be 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and the closure is gonna be just the same, like this. Yes, yes, I like that. Now we're gonna get to the nitty-gritty. Look at that, I made like a nice drawing. Those are gonna be, okay, you take whatever cut off out of your cardstock, right? Those are gonna be from here to here, right? The whole length. It is gonna be 4.5 inch, which is 11.5 centimeter. So this is gonna be the length of your rectangle. And the width from here to here is gonna be 2 inches, which is 5 centimeter. I strongly suggest you take a screenshot of that because I put every single measurement on that, but I'm just gonna go about them, right? Okay, and then as you can tell, what this is, and you're gonna need 4 of those and 1 of those, like so, which is gonna be actually like the same thing than that, but only the 1.5 inch long. Okay, but we get to that. So you do cut that rectangle. Now, the angle here, I just took a tag and just like clip it. All right, what else there is to know? Very important. You gotta put a mark once you got this shaped, right? You're gonna put a mark from the top here, right here, right? The top right here at a 1.5 inch, 4 centimeters, right? You're gonna put a mark. And what we're gonna do next is we are gonna score every score line. Okay, so you pick a number, any number. I'm picking 8, right? Why not? 7 is a lucky number. Let's pick 7. Okay, and then you're gonna score every single score line that you have on your scoring board all the way across, right? Until you reach the other little mark that you made. Those 1.5 inch on both sides, this is the important score line because that's what we're gonna have like this. So now what you do is, you know, nicely, you round it up. And see, it gives you a nice round, right? It's not gonna break in little lines. It's just gonna be exactly round, okay? And that's kind of the effect that we want, all right? So you are gonna do that on every single one of them. You get 4 of those. And then you're gonna punch holes on both sides, right? And preferably at the same spot. I took the time to write every single dimension of that little thing, right? Right here. If you take a screenshot, you get everything. You need 4 of them. This one is gonna be this here, right? This is this. You're gonna need 1, okay? So everybody get that? 1, 2, 3, done. Okay, cool. So we got that. Now, what we're gonna do after that is we are gonna punch the holes. I mean, I'm gonna be really brief with that because it's like it's gonna be a whole nighter here. Okay, you punch your holes on both sides. And then you're gonna take your little eyelets, right? And then you're gonna put, you don't have to if you don't wanna use eyelets. And then you're gonna press your eyelets in every single one of them. Yes, I did that already because, oh, let's not forget, you're also gonna take, if you're shading, right? And just edge and everything. Yes, yes. Okay, look, we spare ourselves, I don't know, like an hour video on doing those things. So here they are, right here. Now, I use the ribbons, and then this is what I'm gonna do because I kind of like it. But the thing is, and that's what I want to show you about that, is you do have an accordion here, and it's gonna be maybe moving too much. So what's gonna happen is we are gonna glue that. I'm gonna glue it with you, okay? We're just gonna put this to kind of hold it together a bit, right? So it doesn't kind of slide everywhere. All right? All right, so that's what we're doing next, putting all our little things together, and then we're doing the gluing part. Okay, so we did our little, the 4 little tags. Mine looks, not tags, but like whatever that's called, right? Mine's look like this, yes? And then there's the extra one, right? Now, the extra one, I kind of deliberated with myself on what was I doing with that thing. So I decided not to put holes in it. So that's already one thing changed here. And I covered it with the same than my background, right? Because it's gonna go somewhere here. There's a reason for that, and we get to that later on. So this I'm putting on the side right now. Now I got this is the closure. I'm putting it on the side right now. We're doing the spine binding, can we call it that? Anyhow, right? So it goes like this, right? 1.5 inch. All right, so the 4 centimeters here, right? On both sides, that we score really good. Yes, and this is kind of round, right? Me, myself, and I, on this specific front cover, I'm gonna aim for the top of the print and the bottom of the print. Okay, so this is gonna be really easy for me to glue because I'm gonna go from here to, okay, and it's gonna have to fold right on my cover right here. I'm gonna go right from the top of my cover to here. Okay, so this is gonna be the top one. This is gonna be the bottom one. Same thing. Right, I'm gonna fold right here. Okay, lining up with this, the bottom of my print here, and then the middle one. So I put a little mark right here, see it? And I'm gonna line kind of the middle of this. Just gonna eyeball it, right? And put it here, and this is how it's gonna be glued. And then I know this one is gonna be in the middle. For the glue, okay, you're gonna put the glue from the eyelet, from under the eyelet, all the way down to that fold. Yes, you're gonna glue all of that. We can do it. We can do it. You go 1/2 inch down. So 1/2 inch down is gonna be on the top of my print here, and it's gonna have to line up like so with the cover, right? I got to be able to bend it over the cover. Now, I'm gonna be standing here pressing on it for the next 10 minutes. So I'm pretty sure we can stop here. And you're gonna do the same thing for this one. All the way down here, just the same. I'm gonna line up with my print, but that's a 1/2 inch from the bottom, right? Do the same thing, glue it here. And then this one in the middle right there, yes? And then we resume. Then we do the other side, and then we do the closure, okay? So happy gluing right now. Okay, so it's kind of dry, and I got the 3 of them right here. So at this point, we're just gonna flip this guy right here, and then we're gonna glue. Now, there's no guessing at this point, right? So same thing, you're gonna put your glue right here, and then you put it. Now, don't go, don't press and go all the way here, right? You have to hit the cover at the fold and then press. And the same thing you got to do for the other 2, which means just like for the front, you're gonna be kind of stuck here for a while, okay? Make sure it stick to the cover, okay? And then same thing for this one and the middle one. All right, so you did it. Yes, and they're all nice and glue, front, back, it's all good. Now, the closure, we're gonna put magnet. In order to put magnet, I think at this point I'm gonna take a plastic ruler, because if I take my metal ruler, the magnet just go right to it, okay? And then you're gonna take 6 inches. So same thing, right? This is gonna be the closure. So it's gonna go all the way to here, to about this line right there. So I'm gonna put a little mark on that line at 6 inches. So that's gonna give me an idea, okay, where my middle is, right? Now, this piece right there, the extra piece that I decided not to put holes on, it's a long story. Anyway, I covered it, right? So what I want to do is put the magnet right here, like so, and then put this on top of it like so, right? And then eyeball the middle of this to be with this, and it should be good. Yes? Yes. The other thing I wanted to say was you don't have to put a closure if you don't want to put a closure. You can do an eyelet here and another eyelet right here and tied it up if you wanted to. The reason I didn't want to do a big wraparound and everything is it's a paper keeper. You know, you want it to be accessible. You want to be able to get your stuff, right? So that's pretty much the reason. I still have to construct those things, right? You see what I'm getting at? So I don't want to have you know, I mean, it's not like a mystery private thing. It's a paper keeper. It's like where you put your papers. Anyway, so this is gonna be glued like this. So this is gonna go on top like this, but this is gonna have the magnet on. All right, so this is gonna be glued in the back like so. Right here, okay? And then the top should go, oh yes it does. Ooh, I like that. See that? Open it. Close it. Yeah, success. Okay, so, well, I got to glue the other side. Good, all right, glue. And this is it, you get your paper keeper. Make sure it glues very good, okay? And then your paper keeper is done. So as I said, next step is decorate or not, or put plain cardstock, or use the papers you have in your kit, which I am gonna do, you know, to do the belly band and the side tuck and all that. And then we do a flip through, and then we have a paper keeper. Ooh. And then now, you know, we can print the kit and put the kit in and do all that. We have something to keep all our papers together. All right, I'm gonna let it dry. And then we do a flip through to whatever mine is gonna look inside anyway, right? Okay, see you then.